Alright, so something's going on with YouTube and my channel. And I know I can't be the only one out there, but you know what? Every time I try to do a search for someone who's going through what I'm going through, for someone who's experiencing what I've been experiencing, I can't find anything. So that tells me either nobody's making videos about it, or there are videos out there about it, but they're flagged so they won't come up in a search, so that you feel like you're the only one out there going through this. So let me just explain what happened. In February of 2019, so last year, YouTube disabled comments on millions of channels, supposedly channels that had minors in any of their videos. So naturally, people were upset about it. They didn't understand. But what ended up happening is the majority of those channels just went around it. They went right back into each of their videos and simply turned the comments back on. YouTube didn't seem to have a problem with that. It was almost as though they were legally obligated to make that move so they could say that they did their part. But then from there, whatever the YouTube channels decided to do was up to them. Now myself, and at the time, I know there were other channels because at the time I was finding videos of people having this problem. But since then, I can't find them anywhere. There were select channels, mine included, where we did not have that option to turn our comments back on. Let me show you what I'm talking about. So I'm gonna give you an example of how this works. Here's a video that's just me. It's a short 3-minute video with just me talking. So I'm gonna go ahead and click on this. No, this video is not made for kids, which means they should allow me to turn on comments. Over here is where I'm able to choose comments. See, disabled. I can't even check that. There's nothing I can even do. The field is completely locked. I can't even select anything. There's no choices. See how they've done this? If I go into the settings of my channel and I go into the advanced settings, I've even played around with it here. Before, because I do have kids in some of my videos, I had this selected. Yes, this channel is made for kids. And I thought maybe that was the reason why my comments were permanently disabled, because I had this selected. So where the majority of my audience and the content I create is for adults, I went back in and changed it to no, set this channel is not made for kids. So I experimented and I clicked on this option to see if it would suddenly allow comments, and I waited 48 hours and nothing changed. So I've even tried this setting. I want to review this setting for every video, which allows me to be selective for every video. Is this a video that's made for kids or is it not? So that I can turn comments on or off, and because I'm the parent, I choose how to best protect my kids and the minors in my videos. But regardless of which setting I check, the comments are permanently disabled on my channel. As you can see, when I click on comments, nothing shows up because no one is able to comment on my channel. I've never had any issues with my channel, ever. No problems, nothing. So I decided to go in and investigate and look at all these other channels who have way more subscribers. We're talking millions of subscribers. They feature children in every video on their channel. That's 100% what their channel is all about. It's just a family vlog. All right, I'm gonna do an experiment. I'm gonna show you what happens when I pull up family videos. I'm gonna type in family vlogs. I'm gonna show you the perfect example of this right here. J House Vlogs, they have over 2 million subscribers. They are a Latter-day Saint family, and he is an attorney. Maybe being an attorney makes a difference. I know he has reached out to YouTube with his frustrations and he's met with them. And because he is an attorney and he has a couple million subscribers, maybe they're more lenient towards him. Maybe that comes with privileges. But when you click on their channel, as you can see, their comments are turned on. So they seem to have no problem with comments. So this doesn't make any sense. If YouTube is trying to protect kids and minors, why are comments not being permanently disabled on every family channel, especially channels where every video features minors? Here's another one, The More the Merrier Vlogs, 81.6 thousand subscribers. They're definitely a family channel. They feature kids in their videos. And look, all their comments are turned on, no problem. Here's another one, the Ace family. They have 18.1 million subscribers. Maybe that's what makes a difference. Maybe that comes with privileges and the child protection policies don't apply to you. But there it is. Look at this. You can comment no problem on their videos with their children. Here's another one. They're not even into the millions. We've got 419,000 subscribers, children in the videos, and you can comment no problem on their channel. There really seems to be a double standard here. And here's my most recent video, Ye Children of the Light. I uploaded it just a few days ago, and as you can see, comments are turned off. Learn more. You click on it and it just gives you the same copy and paste policy that has nothing to do with this video. So right over here under more options, comments and ratings. Comments are disabled for this video. So again, it doesn't let me do anything. This video is marked, no, it's not made for kids. There are no kids in this video. It's just me. This is a video for adults. And no one is allowed to comment on this video to protect children, to protect minors who are not in the video. It just doesn't make any sense. So every now and then, right when I publish a fresh video, as you can see right here, a couple of new comments will slip through the cracks and it will show me that I have comments on my channel. And when I go into the email and click on it to read the comments, suddenly they're not there anymore because the comments have been disabled. So someone is manually going in and turning off the comments after they've already been posted. This has happened so many times. Here's another one. I'll open up my YouTube channel and I'll have a notification. I'll click on it and it will tell me that I have a new comment. So I click on the comment and suddenly it's not there anymore because someone has manually gone in and disabled them. So I reached out to YouTube and explained the situation. I said, I understand why you've done this. That's been explained. We all received an email after it happened. So I get that part of it. However, everyone else has been able to go in and turn their comments back on. I'm not able to do that. And what ended up happening is they would just respond and say, well, that's because we're protecting the minors. So that's why you don't have comments on your channel. And it was almost at times as though they weren't listening to what I was saying. And at times it was almost as though they weren't understanding what I was saying, or they were just pretending not to understand what I was saying. But their response would be, well, just go back in and turn on your comments. That's what other channels have been doing, but you'll just be held accountable if there's minors in your videos. So then I would explain, well, that's great. I'd like to go in and turn on my comments, but it won't let me. It is permanently disabled on my entire channel. I can't even click on it. And then it was like we would just go in circles and they would say, well, that's because we're protecting minors. And I would say, okay, I understand that, but you've said that other channels are able to go in and turn their comments back on. Why can't I do that on mine? And then we would just go in circles. Well, that's because we're protecting minors. And again, they would just copy and paste their new child protective policy, and they just kept pasting answers and pasting answers. It was like these cookie cutter responses, and at times I wondered if I was even talking to a human or a computer. If these are just responses that are sent out to everyone, I don't know. But it felt like someone knew why my comments are disabled. They just weren't going to tell me. Here's an example of the conversations I've been having with YouTube over the last year, back and forth. So here's my reply to several frustrating emails. We seem to be going in circles here. I'm aware that you disabled comments on thousands of channels featuring minors. My question is, why are there channels featuring minors that have not had their comments disabled? Why have they been able to turn their comments back on? There are thousands of these channels, and I give examples. Is it because their subscribers are in the millions, so they are favored? Why are you not protecting the minors on these channels? Why have they all been allowed to turn their comments on? Why is my channel any different? The majority of my videos do not feature minors. The majority of their videos do feature minors. Please answer these questions. Thank you. Simple enough, right? And of course, their reply addresses none of my questions. It's like a cookie cutter response. Like they simply went into their guidelines and copied and pasted them and called that good. So this says, this is John stepping in for JC. Hope you're doing great. I understand how important your comments is to you. If you are a parent or have minors in your videos, please read on and on and on. If you do want to turn comments back on, we strongly recommend that you moderate your comments. On and on, it talks about that. But they're missing the whole point. I'm not able to turn them back on. Those were my original concerns was, hey, I can't even turn them on even if I wanted to. You guys have permanently disabled them on your end. So the field, when I click on it, doesn't even work. This is the problem. But they never address that. They just simply say, yes, we have this child protection policy. Here's why. If you do want to monitor it yourself, that's fine. Just simply go through these steps to re-enable your comments. And again, that doesn't work for me because the fields are frozen. You can't select them. So he says, hope this helps. Have a great day. John. Well, this is like being in the twilight zone. So I replied, thank you, John. That's what I was doing before. The only problem is I don't have that option to turn my comments back on like all the other channels. That field in my settings is turned off or frozen, and I'm not able to select anything. It's that way on all my videos except for two. 2 videos out of all of my hundreds of videos allow for comments. They are older videos. That's why I was contacting YouTube, because I need to know if it's a bug that can be worked out on your end or if it's intentional. Thank you. His reply, hi Lindsay, thanks for your response. We disabled comments on tens of millions of videos featuring minors across the platform to limit the risk of exploitation. While you may have done nothing wrong, we're going above and beyond our existing protections in the near term on content that may include or endanger minors. Our goal is to protect creators and the broader ecosystem while we improve our systems. On and on and on and on. And it just goes on to say that we recognize that comments are a core part of the YouTube experience, and creators have told us they feel we removed a valuable way for them to connect with and grow audiences. But we strongly believe this is an important step to keep young people safe. Hope this clarifies things. Have a great day, John. No, it doesn't, because you didn't answer my question. Is this a bug or is this intentional? So I'm assuming at this point this is intentional, and John's aware of that. My channel probably is flagged, and he's aware that the comments are permanently disabled and there's nothing I can do about it. So again, he's going back to the story that we're doing this to protect the children, but he's not addressing my questions. So later I replied and said, no, you didn't answer my questions, and no, this hasn't helped. Can I speak to someone else? Can I speak to a manager? And of course, I just get passed along to another customer service rep. So I explained the situation again, and she says, thank you. I'd like to inform you that we're now looking into your channel. Note that we don't have a timeline for this, but we're actively working on it. Your patience is greatly appreciated. So she gives me just a little inkling of hope. Then after several days and weeks of not hearing anything, I checked in to follow up. She says, Lindsay, thanks for the follow-up. I just received an update from our internal team, and they're asking for the list of video IDs where comments are disabled, which I'd already told her was pretty much my whole entire channel except for 2 videos. Please understand that we want to make sure that we will not miss a single video. So it would have been easier just to give her the 2 videos which are not disabled. So I think I wrote her back and I said, look, it's my entire channel. It's hundreds of videos except for these 2. Then after several more days, I follow up again because I haven't heard anything. She says, we investigated the issue and it's working as intended. Hope this is clear. Just let me know if you need anything else. Well, no, this isn't clear because she's saying it's working as intended, meaning we have made the decision to permanently disable all comments on your channel. There's nothing you can do about it. So yes, this disablement we have put on your channel is working as we've intended. That's what this sounds like to me, that this is intentional and there's no reason for it. And they're not giving me any logic or reason. They're just telling me, nope, we see your channel and comments still aren't turned on and aren't able to turn on. So yes, it's working as intended. It's working as we've intended it on our end. So that's what this is telling me, is they're aware of this. This is intentional and they have no plans to change it. It's working as they have intended. Otherwise, they would have said, okay, we see what you're talking about. we've tried to go in and select that you want comments turned on and it's not letting us. We get it. There's clearly some kind of a bug, or we know just what to do to fix it. So go ahead and give it a try now. It should work. There was none of that communication. It was always just, there's nothing wrong. There's no problem. It's working on our end as it should. And so everything's fine. There's nothing more to talk about here. And then they would abruptly end the communication between us. So I wrote back and explained to her that nothing was fixed. I still have the exact same problem I've had all year, and you're just giving me the exact same answers that everyone before you has given me. Nothing's changed. Here's what she replied. She says, "Hi Lindsay, I really appreciate your interest, but unfortunately I do not have any more information at this point. I have already shared all the details in my previous email. I'm happy to sum it up one more time though. We've disabled comments on tens of millions of videos," so she's basically copying and pasting the same thing that John told me and that the person before him told me. It's like a robot. It's like dealing with Comcast, if you've ever had to deal with Comcast customer service. She goes on to tell me that she doesn't know if that's ever going to change, if they're going to ever allow comments to be enabled. And she says, "I understand this is not the answer you're expecting, but if you have other concerns, feel free to write us back." So again, she didn't address my question, which is, but other people are allowed to turn their comments back on and I'm not. So it's like they're just completely skirting around the issue every single time. So then they passed me along to Tina because I let them know nothing's been resolved. We're not done. Like, who else can I talk to? So they passed me along to someone named Tina. At this point, I'm starting to feel like it's the same person I'm dealing with every time, and this person just has multiple personalities and is choosing to go by different names to help me feel like someone else is helping me and that there might be some hope. But Tina says the same thing as everyone before her. She says, "You have the choice to either turn your comments on or not. And if you want to turn them on, simply click here and follow these instructions. But of course, you need to carefully review all your comments and approve them before you post them to your videos." So we're just going in circles here, and it feels like I'm in a nightmare that I can never wake up from. This is real. These are real people I'm dealing with. This is really happening, and it's just insane. There is no one else to talk to. There's no managers to go to. There's no phone number to call. This is it. This is YouTube's customer service. And so, of course, she says, "I hope this helps. Let me know if you have any other questions," just like they all do. So of course I reply that nothing's been resolved and you didn't address any of my questions. And so she says, "I'm filling in while Anne is out. I understand how important this is for you. This action is to protect the YouTube community from the content that endangers minors. You can read all about it right here. Thanks for your understanding." So again, my questions aren't being addressed and we're not getting to the bottom of this. I'm not getting any answers. They're just beating around the bush and we're just going in circles. So of course, when Tina can't help me, she passes me on to someone else. And this person just sends me the same cut and paste reply as all the people before. The same thing, "Thank you for your response." And then they cut out their policy of why they're doing this to protect the children. And, you know, here's the reasoning behind it. And we hope you understand. Have a great day. So again, it's like they're not hearing me. It's like I'm talking and I'm talking, but no one's listening. It is the most crazy, frustrating customer service experience I've ever encountered in my entire almost 40 years of life on this planet. So it looks like YouTube has responded today again. Let's see if we're just going to go in circles again. They've sent me, "How do you feel about your most recent support interaction?" This always comes at the bottom of their reply. So it looks like they sent me a reply but left it blank. Looks like they have nothing to say to me anymore about this, but instead they've given me this survey. I don't even know if this survey matters. Every time I fill it out, I say that I'm extremely dissatisfied and nothing seems to change. No one seems concerned. No one has reached out to me to ask how they can help, how we can make this right. I seem to be filling out one of these daily now. They're at the bottom of every email that YouTube sends me. And I continue to say, "Support agent was not helpful. Nothing was resolved. Nope, has not been resolved." And then I submit. I don't even know if this makes a difference. I don't know that anyone sees this or if they even care. This has been my experience. It's been very frustrating. So it looks like YouTube is no longer responding to me. So at this point, I am at a loss. On my channel, I have several different playlists of videos that appeal to different audiences. The majority of people that make up my audience are adults. And a lot of my videos, most of my videos, are just me talking into the camera. There are no children in those videos. And how I had it set up before and always was that I monitored the comments that came through. So as people would comment on my videos, I would have to see those comments first and approve them before they would ever publish to my videos. So if a comment came through and it had vulgar language in it or something inappropriate, it got deleted. No one ever saw it because I never published it. So I was able to monitor every comment that came through my channel. And because people were allowed to comment, I was able to have conversations with my viewers. We were able to have dialogue and communicate. And I was able to answer questions, especially about products. I have a business and I have a lot of videos where I talk about my products, and people were able to comment and share their experiences with my products and ask questions how to use them. They can't do that anymore. And then I have other videos with spiritual topics, and we were able to have conversations back and forth where people could share their experiences and things that they were gaining from the video. There were people that had questions and I could answer them. It was always such a good thing. And YouTube has always emphasized to its YouTube partners, me being a YouTube partner, that the best way for your videos to be seen and found is to have your comments turned on. I remember when I first became a YouTube partner, and it came with a list of tips of do's and don'ts. And it said, to have your channel be successful, for people to find your videos, it's best to have your comments turned on. Even if you choose to monitor them, people like to be able to comment on your videos. And when people see that they can't comment and they can't have conversations, they lose interest in your channel. It's a big part of what brings traffic to your videos is people being able to comment and share their opinions. So when they took that away from me, that was very frustrating, and I saw the decline in numbers go down, which I brought up to them, and they said, no, we don't see any connection to that. That's just for other things. Your declining numbers have nothing to do with the commenting being disabled. I don't believe that. So anyways, after going back and forth last year and getting absolutely nowhere and having no actual human I can talk to on a phone call, it's just email only and you never know who you're gonna get. I would just find that they would never directly answer my questions. I would ask a question and they would just copy and paste a policy. They would never directly address each of my questions. There were no specifics. It was very frustrating. So I finally got to a point where I realized I'm just never gonna be able to have my comments turned on. I don't understand why. I am a conservative. I do have conservative views that I share in my videos. And I know that over the last couple years, that had been a problem. There were lots of channels saying that because of their conservative views and politics, their videos were being censored, their channels were being censored, and people weren't finding their videos, or their comments were being turned off. And so I couldn't help but wonder if that's what had happened to me, because my videos address politics and spiritual matters, if that's a reason why they don't want conversations happening on my channel. And I'll tell you why I think that. Because all of these other channels out there with millions of subscribers who have their comments turned on and don't have this problem, they have minors in every one of their videos. So when YouTube says to me, we're just trying to protect the minors, we're just trying to protect the children, that's why you can't turn your comments on. My response is, why are you not trying to protect those minors? What makes the minors on their channel different than the minors that appear in some of the videos on my channel? I don't believe this has made any difference at all in protecting children and protecting minors, because people are able to comment on thousands of other channels that feature minors and children in every video. How are they being protected? Doesn't seem like anything's being done to protect them. If commenting is the danger, if it's comments that we're trying to avoid when trying to protect these minors, why are they allowed to have comments on their videos? Why are comments shut off on all of my videos, even videos where there are no children in them? Even though each video allows me to individually select whether or not there's children in that video and whether or not I would like comments turned on, even with all those settings checked, nothing changes. The comments are permanently disabled every time. The strange thing is, there are 2 videos on my entire channel. Out of all of the hundreds of videos I've ever made, only 2 videos for some reason have gone under the radar and allow for comments. One is a happy lady video, and the other is a video I made about this very issue last year. I made a video letting all of you know that YouTube had disabled my comments. I think that was the title of the video. And the minute that video came out, suddenly they enabled the comments on that video as if to show everyone, no, we haven't. Her channel's just fine. So it'll be interesting to see if the comments are suddenly enabled just on this video. That will be really interesting to see. Something else I've noticed is on my newer videos, when I publish them, just for a moment, they'll allow comments. In fact, the other day, a comment came through and I was completely surprised by it. It caught me off guard. It was a smiley face. And so I went to click on it, suddenly it was gone. Suddenly it said that I couldn't access that comment because the comments on that video had been permanently disabled. And this was a video that just had me in it, an adult. No minors. So it seems as though my channel has been targeted, my videos have been targeted, and there's no one working for YouTube on my side. They have no desire to help me resolve this issue. It would be such a simple issue. It would just require someone on their end to go in and re-enable my comments so that I can make that choice whether or not I want to allow comments on each video, and so that as the parent of my children, I can monitor those comments as I always had been doing before. We never had a problem with this before, and it seems that thousands of other channels out there are not having a problem with this right now. As I said, they're being allowed to have comments. Why is the crackdown on my channel and on my family and on my kids, but not on all these other channels? It just doesn't make any sense at all. So I felt I needed to put this in a video. I just don't want to be silent about it. I don't know if this video will be flagged and nobody will ever find it, but certainly if people come to my channel, they're gonna find it here. And I want you to know that you're not alone, that I too have this issue. Will it ever be resolved? That's up to YouTube. In the meantime, if people want to comment on my videos, they have to find other ways to reach me. And then no one else is able to see what it is they're sharing. It's like that dialogue and conversation has completely been stopped. It's very frustrating. I've had a lot of people reach out to me and say it's so frustrating that I can't comment on your videos, but I can comment on other channels. Why can't I comment? Why won't you turn them on? And then I have to explain, I would love for them to be on. I do turn them on, but YouTube overrides it and turns them off. They've permanently disabled my comments and I don't understand why. And they express their frustrations with YouTube as well. I just think some changes need to be made. I don't know why it can't be fair all the way across the board. I don't understand why certain channels are given more privileges over others. Maybe it has to do with the fact that if you have millions of subscribers and you're bringing in a lot of revenue for YouTube, that comes with privileges. But you would think channels that have millions of subscribers are going to be way more susceptible to child predators because those channels drive more traffic, have more viewers, show up at the top of searches. So why are those children not being protected? That's what this is really about. How come channels like mine that are much smaller, that have way less traffic, way less viewers, why is the protection for my family and my children super tight? It's just not right. If you're gonna permanently disable the comments on one channel, you need to do it on all channels. It's absolutely unfair in every way. And last year, when YouTube responded to me, they said, we don't know why this is happening to you, and we don't know how to fix it. I don't believe that. I really don't believe that. Anyway, so I wanted to explain in detail why you haven't been able to comment on my channel in over a year. Will that ever change? Will you ever be able to? I don't know. That is up to YouTube. For some reason, they're much more interested in protecting my family than they are all the other families out there with millions of views. Doesn't make any sense. Those parents are allowed to screen and monitor their comments and decide what's appropriate and what's not. I used to be able to do that as well, and now that's been completely stripped away from me, and I don't know why. And no explanation for that has been given other than they're trying to protect the children. So it's a double standard. There seems to be some favoritism going on, or definitely channels that are being targeted for their political or religious views and beliefs. That's the only thing that makes sense to me. Everything else doesn't make sense at all. It really doesn't. So anyways, I just wanted to share that with you. I hope by putting this video out there, somebody will see it and maybe decide to investigate why this is happening to me. I'd sure appreciate it. I'd love to see changes on my channel. I'd love to see my comments turned back on. I know all of you would love for my comments to be turned back on. I get told this daily, weekly, so I'll just keep praying, hoping, waiting that someone will see this video and decide to do the right thing. Anyways, if this has happened to your channel as well, please reach out to me. My contact information is down below if you're not able to comment on this video. I'd love to hear what's happened to you, and maybe we can figure this out together.